How do you make sure your product launch goes smoothly and doesn't end up a disaster or with you not following through till the end? Create a solid launch plan. In the next few minutes, I am going to be sharing with you a 6-week launch plan that will help you successfully launch your products, digital products, or services. Also, you can adapt this launch plan if you are looking to launch your new brand or relaunch your existing brand. The first time I ever launched anything, it was a disaster. So it was a Facebook ad course, and I had said, I was going to launch it for 30 days. I was going to send emails every day for 30 days. In fact, I was so hyper, and I reached out to my email list and I told them that I was going to be sending them emails every single day, sharing value, talking about Facebook ad, giving them one strategy every single day around Facebook ads. I just said those things and I just started from the top of my head. If I wake up in the morning, from the top of my head, that's when I'll think of what to post, that's when I'll think of the email to write. Day 1, I sent the first email. Day 2, I sent the second one. Day 3, said, oh my God, I don't know what to write. Let's move it to another day. I missed day 3. Day 4, I sent the third one instead of the fourth one. And that was how I just kept missing days because I was doing things on the go. Even my content, after the first 7 days, I gave up. Yeah, I gave up from that launch. I just moved on with my life and started doing other things. I was like, if you like, go and buy the course. It's actually very hilarious. Thinking about it now, I'm just laughing like, hello, what were you thinking? Because I didn't have a launch plan, it became like really difficult. I was doing everything myself. I was doing the pages, the ads, the content, the emails. I was doing everything myself. And even if you have a team, having everything properly spelled out will make it really easy for you to implement and see your launch through. Now, the reason why I stopped putting out content on social media after the first week of that launch was because as I was putting out content, people were not buying. And I was like, what's not the point? Why am I stressing myself creating content? Why am I stressing myself sending these emails? People are not buying. But then I didn't finish the 30 days that I said I was going to launch. I didn't have a plan. I didn't say, okay, after week 1, this is what I'm going to do in week 1, this is what I'm going to do in week 2. So I didn't even have a plan to start with, not to talk about having a backup plan. So you see why it is very important to have a launch plan. Now, these days, after I got delivered, I got my revelation. I don't launch anything without creating an actual plan that has a timeline, everything, covers everything. And I'm going to be sharing that with you in this video today. So what is my 6 weeks foolproof launch plan? Let's look at it. Week 1, I call it the clarity and planning phase. So this is a phase where you try to get clarity about the products that you want to launch. The first thing you need to do is to carry out research. What is this product? Is there any information about this product, this service, or this thing that I want to launch, or even my brand that I want to launch? Research the name, research the scope. What are other people already doing around this thing that you want to do? Google research, look at articles, look at YouTube, look at Instagram, look at every platform. If you're in medicine or if what you're talking about is around marketing, there are lots of marketing forums, marketing platforms where you can get information to help you know that this thing that you want to work on is actually going to be worth it. Look at Google Trends. Ask your customers. That's also a part of research. If it's a brand that you are launching, ask people who are already in your corner, because you may not have customers yet. Ask people who you feel like they are in the bracket of your ideal audience, that are your friends, your family. Ask them about this product you want to launch. What are they looking to expect? What exactly, if they say that this thing will really solve their problem? You need all of this information before you start launching, because it is going to change everything for you. So once you're done with your research, the next thing is to now identify and draw out your target audience. This particular product, this particular service, who is the target audience for this product, for this service? You need to be able to clearly define that. And this is not rocket science. You don't have to do anything spiritual or anything out of the ordinary in order to identify your target audience from the questions you've been asking people, from the research that you have done, and from your own personal bias. So look at those things and then break down your ideal audience segment into what is their age range, what are they struggling with, what is their pain point, what have they told you before now, and then also what is their goal. Somebody that is your ideal target audience, what is their goal when it comes to the products or the service that you are about to launch. So for someone who is looking to launch a cleaning business, for example, your target audience could be people who are busy. They are busy professionals or they are busy tech bros who would rather not do their cleaning themselves because they don't have time, right? What is their age range? You put the age range there. What is their goal? These people care about their hygiene. They care about having their environment clean. They care about their health. They care about all of these things. That is why they care about cleaning. So you see how I'm trying to now put this into specific action for you. Now, what is the personal bias? The personal bias here could be that you don't want to work with specific people. You could say, okay, my cleaning is only for homes, or my cleaning involves homes, construction sites, hotels, companies. You have that capacity to have that personal bias. That is why I said your target audience is in your control. You can define who they are. Once you're able to define them, then you go out and look at what they care about, what their goals is based on what you've gotten from your research. Now, still in week 1, another thing you need to define is what problem are you going to be solving with these products or the service. You need to be able to clearly articulate that, because if you cannot articulate it, then there's already a problem from there. Now, what solution are you providing? How are you trying to solve this problem that you have identified that your product or your service or your brand is going to be solved? So for a cleaning business, a problem that you might be solving is the problem of time. So I have somebody who comes to my house to clean once in a while. I work from home, not because I cannot do the cleaning myself, but in my head I'm thinking that 2 hours or that 3 hours that I will use to do that cleaning, I can use it to be doing something else while the person comes and does the cleaning and I pay and the person goes. So what problem can you pick out from this? What is the solution? How are you now helping me solve that problem? You see that? You have to clearly articulate that so that when you are doing your marketing, you'll be able to pick out all of these things to sell to me, and it becomes very relatable and it becomes like very specific to me. So another thing under the target audience, I want you to break down your audience based on different needs, based on different categories. So your audience for a cleaning business, you have homeowners, families who have large families. So their problem is that they have like a very big house. That's a different category of people who have very big house. Their own problem is different. The way you speak to those people are different because they have like duplex mansions and it's very difficult to clean those kind of house alone. Or you could have another group of audience who they don't have a very big house. They're just like very busy people who work round the clock, but then they still want to keep their space clean. You see how you're able to segment this. So create different segments like that for 3 to 4 segments of your audience. Then the next thing you want to look at is the benefits. So how does this benefit your audience? How does this product, this service that you want to launch, how does it benefit your audience in the long run? You have to make a list of all of those. I'm not talking about the features. I'm not talking about what is inside. What will I get? Oh, we'll come, you will get cleaning, we'll clean here, we'll clean there. No, that's not what we're looking at. The benefit we're looking at here, how does this help their lives? How does it help them achieve their goals? So for the cleaning business, for example, the benefits, one of them could be helping you save time so that you can focus on other things, helping you save time so that you can rest, helping you save time so that you can take care of your family. Those are like different benefits based on the different audience category that I've mentioned earlier. Another benefit could be that when they engage your cleaning service, they are going to be able to create a more healthy home for their children, for those who have families, or a healthy work environment so that they can think properly and be able to give their best at their work. I'm somebody when my space is not organized or my space is scattered, I tend to not be productive. So that could be another benefit of the service that you render. So you think about it. What are the different perks that comes with, working with you, and how can you tie this to the emotion of your customer? This is something you have to figure out in the first week. Now, another thing you need to figure out is the result and the outcome. So by the time I work with you, I buy this product or I use your service, what is the result and the outcome that I'm going to be getting out of it? You can talk about the features, you can talk about the deliverables or the things that you're going to do for them, the things that they are going to see. Or by the end of this program, you're going to be able to achieve X amount of growth. Or by the time we finish cleaning your house is going to be at least 95% clean. You'll be able to bring your friends around. You'll be able to focus on other things. What are those results that you're going to be doing? Or if there's another perk that you can give, after we clean your house, we also offer like a 2-day check-in to help you do other things. Or when we clean your house, we also do your dishes. We also do your bathrooms. We also do your rugs. Those are results and perks that you can look at to add to whatever thing that you're launching when it comes to a laundry cleaning business, as an example. Now let's move on to the next thing under the product. So week 1, category 1, products. All right. Now you need to look at your pricing and your package. This is where you have to decide how much you want to charge for your product or your service. Now the next thing is, what is the name of this product? What is the name of this service? Do not just put out a product there. Do not put out a service without giving it an actual name. The name should be specific. The name should be result-oriented. It should be memorable. So think about everything we've just outlined. Think about everything we've just outlined and see how you can coin a name out of it to make it relatable, memorable to your ideal customers, to your ideal audience. Does that make sense? Now let's look at category 2 under week 1, your marketing. This is where still week 1 is where you are going to decide how long will your launch be for. Now for this video, we are going to be working with a 4 weeks launch. Don't worry, I said I was going to give you a 6-week plan, right? Now I'm saying we are going to be working with a 4-week launch. Come with me, we are still in week 1. How long would your launch be for? 4 weeks. I always recommend that your launch should be minimum of 4 weeks, and it could be 6 weeks, could be 8 weeks long, but should not be less than 4 weeks. Then what is your budget? How much are you willing to invest in this marketing of this product, of this service, of this brand that you want to launch? What is your marketing strategy? What marketing strategy are you going to deploy? Are you going to do advertising? Are you going to use influencers? Are you going to use social media content? Are you going to use emails? Are you going to be the person that is just focused on ads and emails? You're not going to be posting back to back on social media. Are you going to go for any events? Are you going to go for any exhibition? Are you going to do any offline activity to push your brand out there? What are the things that you are going to do during this launch? Just make a list of those things. Just scramble them down. Now that you've looked at the marketing strategy you want to deploy, what is your launch goals? What are your launch goals? I'm launching this product because I want to get more awareness. I'm launching product because I want to make this amount of revenue. I'm launching this product because I want to use it to break into the market. What exactly are your launch goals? You can have 3 launch goals. 1 should be your top, and then 2 secondary launch goals. I want to make X amount of money, and then in addition to that, I want these other 2 things. Write them down and be very specific about them. Now, under week 1, operations. Now, what are the things that you need to reach your launch goals? You say you want to make your launch goals, you want to hit $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. What are the things that you need in place to hit that launch goals? You don't have to overthink this whole thing. It's just all about looking at possible things that you can do. And this is also tied to your marketing strategy. So if you say that you're going to do offline marketing, in order to do your offline marketing, what do you need? You need flyers. If you say you're going to go for events, in order to go for event, maybe you need t-shirts. Those are things you need to start writing down. If you say, I'm going to do a webinar, what do you need? You will need a webinar registration page. You will need emails. You will need a video to promote the webinar. You will need flyers to promote the webinar. That's how you start listing all the things you need depending on the strategy that you say you want to deploy. So that's that. Now, the final thing you're going to do in week 1 is to start sketching out your dates and timeline. Yes, dates and timeline. On what day are you going to be doing what? You have to do that, else you're going to be all over the place. Now, all of those things that you've listed, or your marketing things, all the things you want to do, you now start putting them inside a table. Now, the way I do my table, I have 5 columns, and in those 5 columns, the first column I write weeks. The second column I have activity. The third column I have breakdown. The fourth column I have assigned to. And the fifth column I have deadline or date. Week 2 is where you start your proper launch. It's called pre-launch. So this is a phase where you need to start implementing the plan that you have created in week 1. So what is expected in this phase? What can you incorporate into your launch in week 2, which is pre-launch? Now let's talk about the first thing, content. So in week 2, which is technically your week 1 of the 4 weeks that we're working with, you are going to be creating content that does these things. Content that create awareness, content that announces your launch. What are you putting out there? Content that talks about the dates that you want to start receiving payments. How much is it? Content that just get people hyped up. It could be a game, it could be a teaser video, it could be a teaser campaign, it could be a game asking people to guess what you are about to bring. That's what is expected in week 2. That way, you are able to now start building the hype under your content. At this point, you don't have to do too much. You can even add educational content in there after you've announced the product or the service that you want to launch. Another thing that you need to do in week 2 is to start working on your pages. If you need a page or you need flyers, you need to start working on them. So while you're putting out content, writing emails to your already existing email list, hyping them. So the content, whether on emails, on social media, the content should be around everything that I've mentioned. While all of that is going on, this is a phase where you are also working on your flyers, working on your pages, working on other things so that you can meet up with your deadline. Now, week 3 is what I call soft launch. Now, you put out a lot of content, hype, all of those things. What you need to start doing is to open a wait list. You could open a wait list, say, okay, now you've announced what exactly you are launching. Create content that asks people to wait list. Create content that opens like the pre-order. Either you do a wait list or you ask people to pre-order for a lesser fee. Start sharing the benefits of that product or that service. What is the benefit? What is the features? Who is this product and service for? Your content should start answering that. Another thing you should start doing in week 3 is to trigger your lead generation plan. So that means in your launch plan, that's launch plan sheet, you're going to have week 3 content. You have all the content breakdown that you're going to be creating for week 3. You have campaigns, you have a webinar on this date, flyer sharing on this date. So you have to have all of those things listed under week 3. This is where you implement your lead generation. You start marketing your lead generation, start running your ads for your lead generation, or you can now trigger your influencer for your lead generation, because now you have opened your lead generation funnel. People are getting to your WhatsApp list or your email list, or you're already asking people to pre-order for a cheaper price instead of paying the whole full amount when the official payment actually happens. Now, week 4 is where you're now going to do your launch, proper launch. So here you're no longer soft launching. Here you are put it out there. This is where you start putting lots of testimonials, lots of feedback, social proof. Why should we trust you? Why is this thing going to work? Lots of educational content. Yes, in week 3, you should also add educational content, educate them. Lots of pain points content. Call out your audience. Remember, you did your target audience breakdown. Start calling out your audience based on each of their categories. Week 4 is also the point when you start reaching out to people who showed interest when you were doing your hype and all. Start sending them DMs. Start calling them, start sending them emails and say, okay, payment has opened, you should start coming to buy before it closes or before anything happens. This is how you should take action. This is now. This is how. This is where. This is why you should take action. These are all the things you're going to be doing in week 4. Now, week 5 is where you're now going to double down on all your actions. If you've been doing education content before, double it. If you've been sharing testimonials, double it. If you've been calling them before, double it. Double the effort. If you've been sending them reminders, double the effort. Answer objections. Your content should answer objections. This is where you follow up on everybody that has attended your free class, downloaded your freebie, joined your live. This is where you do FOMO, fear of missing out. What does it look like if you miss out of this launch? This is where you also highlight that payment is closing soon, so they should take action. Put the payment closing date and see how you can follow up and double down on any activity that you were doing before now. Now, week 6. Week 6 is you're done with your launch. You can now onboard your students, onboard your customers, onboard your clients. This is where you also review everything you've done. So look at all the things that you say you were going to do. Did you do everything? Were you able to get the result that you say you were going to get, which is your launch goal? Did you not hit it? What happened? What did you not do? What did you do wrong? How did your ads perform? How much did you spend in marketing? Look at all of those data and then see how you can now rework and see how you can review everything, analyze all of those things to see how you can make your next launch better. So week 1 and week 6, week 1 is for planning, week 6 is for review. So week 2 to week 5 is where the actual launch happens. But it will not make any sense if you do not do week 1 and week 6. So you have to review everything in week 6 to make sure that whatever thing that you have done, whatever efforts that you have put in, you can measure it, you can track it, and you can decide whether you want to repeat it or try something new. With all that we've covered, you can now go back to your launch plan sheet and itemize everything into weeks, the activities, their breakdown, who is it assigned to? Is it to you or to someone on your team, or are you outsourcing it? And then finally, what is the deadline of that thing that you need to do so that you can look at it, you can even print it and look at it every time and you know exactly if you're on track or not. This will help you to keep track of your launch and you don't stop halfway and you don't get burned out. It also helps you prepare effectively before you kickstart your launch and during or after your launch. So what I'm going to do, I have embedded the template to the description of this video. So go and download it for free and you can use it for your next launch plan.